Royal family, welcome to my channel. My name is the Pick a Card Empress, and today we are doing an Akashic Tarot reading on your connection. Okay, we'll look at the foundation of the contract between you guys, where you guys are in the contract right now, where will you guys be a year from now, and the highest outcome of this connection in this lifetime. In the extended, we will do the same for the third party or karmic connection if you have one attached to your relationship. All right, so there are three piles today. The first pile, and that aquamarine stone, I think it's green calcite, is the chrysalis tarot. The second pile is the tarot illuminati, and the third pile is the wheel of the year tarot. I'm going to be back and I'm going to show you the boxes, and don't worry about the shaking. I'll put it in a stand, okay? I'll see you in a bit. Royal family, as I said in the introduction, today we're going to do an Akashic record reading on your connection. Okay. Now, the first pile and this crystal is the chrysalis tarot, and this is the box. The second pile and this crystal is the tarot illuminati, and this is the box. Yeah. And the third pile and this crystal is a fluorite. Probably not. And this box. Okay. So do your thing, pick your pile, and I'll be back soon with your reading. Hey, pile one, if you chose the chrysalis tarot, this is going to be a reading. Now, today, what we're exploring, we are looking at an Akashic record reading of your connection. So what we're going to look at the foundation of the contract between you and your person, or rather what spirit thinks is most important for you to know right now about this contract, right? So how is it relevant to your current life and where you guys are at? Then we're going to look at the current lessons that you guys are learning. We're going to look at where you guys are going to be in the contract a year from now, and then we're going to look at what's going to be the highest outcome for your connection based on your current trajectory. Now, if your current trajectory is not union, in the extended, we will look at what you have to do to align to physical union energies. And then we're also going to look at the foundation of the contract between your person and the third party, if there's a third party connected to your connection. So it looks like the extended is going to be for those people who know that there's a third party connected to their connection. Okay. All right. So let's get into this reading. I am going to be using the Akashic Tarot, and I will clarify with the deck that you have chosen. Okay. All right. So let's go. Now, the Akashic Tarot, unlike the normal tarot has 78 cards. The Akashic Tarot only has 62. So it means then that I won't be able to interpret the cards in their strictest meaning because it doesn't have all the cards, right? So I'm going to be reading them intuitively. Sometimes the ordinary meaning would apply, but sometimes it won't. All right, the foundation of the contract between you guys, we have a Queen of Swords in reverse. And the Queen of Swords in reverse is someone who does not know who they are. Or they may know who they are, but they're afraid to show it. So it's the energy of being inauthentic. It's the energy of lying to yourself and to the world, either or. It's also the energy of someone who may stifle their expression, someone who's afraid to speak up, speak their needs, someone who has communication issues. This is the Queen of Swords reverse. And the Queen of Swords reverse, because she has been through so much, she can also be very bitter, and she can have an overcorrection of her boundaries. So she may deal with you very harshly because she's been hurt before, right? And, maybe all of you guys have been there. I think I've certainly been there where, because you may have had inappropriate boundaries before, you kind of cut people off before they could even start, nip things in the butt right away. Right? So sometimes you go to the other end of the extreme before you come back, into balance with yourself, and you're not to judge yourself for that. Okay? All right. We live and we learn. All right, let's see. The foundation of the contract between you guys. What's meant to happen? And how is it relevant to your current experience? Well, we have Ace of Wands. So I guess that's why we may have talked about balance, especially with a balance in power as well. It says here the Akashic field. So what you guys are meant to do in this lifetime is come back to a sense of wholeness where you are standing in your power. You're not giving your power away on one end of the spectrum, and you're not abusing your power and trying to dominate or intimidate or abuse others either, right? So it feels like there's some sort of balance that you're meant to strike with your power, your energy, and we do that through appropriate boundaries. So I guess that's why I was talking about boundaries before. Right, come back into mind, body, and soul balance. Okay, we have will, wisdom, and mind. So balance in every area of your life. And you see, when we're in balance, then we don't need to abuse our power, and we don't need to shy away from power either, right? We always know what to do given the particular situation. We have the Lookout in reverse, the Star card in reverse. So I feel like this is where you guys begin. And this is where you guys end. And this will, wisdom, and mind energy is the energy of judgment. And judgment is waking up and seeing things clearly, not seeing things through the eyes of trauma, not seeing things through the eyes of pain or hurt or shadow self. Seeing things as is and making appropriate decisions from that place of objectivity. And that place of objectivity can only be brought about through healing, through confronting or shadow self, doing the work. That's the only way you get to that place of being able to be neutral and objective. Okay? But it feels like you guys start off with not the best of starts in this lifetime. We have here the Lookout in reverse. And the Lookout in reverse is where everything crumbles, right? Everything that has structure, everything that you can depend on kind of crumbles. It talks about hurt and pain. It talks about trauma, kind of losing yourself, losing your way. So it feels like this is how we start off in this lifetime. Not with the best of starts, and carrying around a lot of pain, hurt, and injury. And of course, that will allow us, well, that usually makes us behave in a certain type of way. But it feels like through the intervention, it says here, loving elementals. So maybe a lot of you guys are connected to the fairy realm, Divic realm. You believe in these nature spirits. Through the intervention and support of nature spirits, of loving people, and some of these loving people could be professionals. Through the intervention of your guides, ancestors, it feels like you and your person get to do some inner child healing, and that's what brings you guys back to that place of balance. So this is a storyline. The storyline is come into this life, maybe even with past life karma, hurt, pain, and injury. And maybe you go on like that for quite a while, right? And then there's the intervention of loving elementals, people around you guys, third parties around you guys, that help you guys do a lot of inner child healing and brings you to a place of wholeness and balance. And through this place of wholeness and balance and being empowered, then you're better able to make appropriate decisions for yourself and your life. So this is what's meant to happen through this connection. So let's ask Spirit, what are the current lessons being learned, or the current blessings being experienced because of this connection? Okay, so I'll put divine feminine, or the person that resonates more with feminine energy on this side, and I'll put divine masculine on the person that resonates more with masculine energy on this side. And those that resonate with neither or both, you choose, right? So we have trees, and trees always tell me about ancestors, tree folk, and of course, woodland spirits, which is what we see here. Okay, so it feels like you guys are at this point, right? With these woodland spirits, this is the intervention of spirit, intervention of supportive energies that have come to help you do this work, do this healing. So they want to let you know of their presence in your life. And it's so interesting that this will come through, because I was doing an SRT for someone, a spirit release therapy session for someone, and we had just like cleared off some negative energy, and then you just saw all these massive trees walking towards her. So it feels like, oh, again, she chills. So it feels like this might be a collective energy for pile one, where you're getting the support of nature spirits at this time. You guys are very connected to that energy. All right, let's see. What's happening right now? What's happening? We have health and healing, okay? So whoever resonates with that feminine energy, you're doing the work, okay? And you already know that. Mind, body, and spirit. You already know that. Some of you may have been called to do your annual checkups, to seek out a professional to help you maybe with your healing, or to process some of the things that may have happened to you. But the focus is definitely on self at this time, and that's exactly what's meant to happen right now. So you're doing the work. Let's see, divine masculine energy. And certainly there may be some health challenges that might be coming your way, but it's all to push you to stand in your full power, and to let you know that you are stronger than you think. Whatever it is that you're going through, you're going to come out of it stronger than you know. Physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally. Divine masculine energy. They are working on this unrequited love energy that they have been toting around for a long time. Okay. So, okay. So it feels like for the feminine energy, and that makes sense, because feminine energy is about receiving. It feels like whatever may have happened to you in your childhood, or negative experiences, trauma that you've had so far, it feels like you've taken it all in and never really expressed it. And when we take it all in and we never express it, or we are never allowed to release it, sometimes it can get trapped in our body. And what it does there, when it gets trapped in our body and our organs, it first causes dis-ease. And if we continue not to address it, it then causes disease that then demand our attention. So it feels like for some of you guys, you may benefit from maybe seeing a somatic therapist or something like that, because some of what you're experiencing in terms of your health challenges might actually be trapped trauma and pain. Okay, so that's one way to approach your healing. Definitely see your medical experts if you need to. Definitely see a psychiatric experts if you need to. But some people may benefit from a somatic therapist. Their emotions and energies that may be trapped inside of your body. Okay? Now, your person, what they have been lugging around. So you've been lugging around your pain inside of you. What they have been lugging around is this energy of not being lovable, right? And it looks like this is an energy that first started with their parents, okay? That first started with their parents. And if it is that you as a child, you get the messaging that your parents don't love you, your parents don't care for you, then it's an energy that you lug around for your whole life. And if your parents don't love you, and if your parents didn't love you, as far as you saw, and they didn't care for you, then who can really love you and who can really care for you? So this person has always thought that no one can ever love them. So they've always had trust issues. So you're telling this person you love them, and they're watching you with a side eye. How could you? How could you? And let me tell you, you can bend yourself backward, trying to convince someone of your sincerity, convince someone of your loyalty. But if they don't do the work, and if they don't recognize that they are deserving of love, attention, and respect, then there's nothing you can do. Nothing that you do will help this person get the message. This is an inside job. So this is the inside job that they are doing right now. They are dealing with their codependency tendencies. Okay? Because codependency is a lack of self-love. And when we don't love ourselves, we may latch on to a lot of unhealthy things because we think that we can't do better. So unhealthy relationships. We may abuse our body through some sort of substance abuse, fall into addictions, whatever it is. It's all about putting ourselves in harm's way because we don't think we can get better than that, or we don't think deep down inside that we deserve better than that. So this is them learning to love themselves and to shake off that false narrative that at one time it looks like they really bought into. I'm going to clarify these cards, but let me just take a card from this deck as well. What lessons are you guys currently learning on this experience? And we have remembrance. So maybe both, and there's a child here, and tapping into the addictions one time, right? So maybe your person isn't the only person that was in some sort of codependent relationship or has some kind of codependency. And both of you guys might be tracing this back to childhood. All right, let's see. What are you guys currently experiencing right now on this journey to wholeness? All right. The other thing that divine feminine, or the person resonating more with the feminine energy, might be dealing with is what we call the independent-dependent conspiracy. And the independent-dependent conspiracy, it comes from a place of having been let down so many times. It can also come from a place of abandonment. And basically in this paradigm, we have a very unhealthy relationship with attachment. So for some of us, because we may not trust other people or we are afraid of abandonment, we may be very avoidant and we may resist getting too close to anyone because as far as we're concerned, they're either going to hurt you or leave you. Others of us, right, because of our trust issues or abandonment issues, we're concerned about being left behind, so we might become very clingy, fall into some sort of victim complex, very grasping, may smother or even stalk our partners, right, because we feel like we can't make it alone. Okay, so we may occupy the far extremes of the spectrum when we're all meant to be in the middle, where we are interdependent, recognizing that we are whole within ourselves. We don't actually need anyone in our life, but we benefit from having relationships that are symbiotic and relationships that are nurturing, right? So we don't grasp or hold on to anyone. We don't stifle anyone. We don't avoid people. We don't, self-isolate, right? And do other harmful things. We are whole and complete within ourselves. So whether people come or go, we're okay. We're okay. So it feels like this is something that you might be healing at this time. What's your whoa. What's your person doing? Well, they're in the energy of undoing, which makes sense because they have a lot to do in order to undo or dismantle this narrative that they've had going for a long time. And the narrative that they've had going is that no one truly loves them. Everybody is using them for something. Right? That they have to overcompensate to keep people in their life because everybody they're only needed for their utility. So people like that, you may say that their love language is acts of service, but there's a difference between acts of service and overcompensating and giving yourself away. And this person may board on overcompensating and giving themselves away. You know why? Because they're trying to make up for what they consider to be their deficiencies. So in their head, because they're not a whole person, because they're blessed that somebody is actually paying attention to them, they go above and beyond to compensate for all their perceived shortcomings. So just give themselves away. And they may even have problems receiving love or even simply receiving compliments. Because as far as they see, there's nothing to compliment. They feel like they have nothing to recommend them except their utility and their usefulness. So this is something that this is a program that they are trying to dismantle at this time. Where are you guys going to be in terms of this connection a year from now? Where are you guys going to be? All right, Divine Feminine, Six of Swords reverse, the Sands of Time. Divine Masculine, Archangel Michael, and this card is about heart healing. Both of you guys are on totally parallel tracks because this is a card about still healing and this is a card about heart healing. So you guys are still going to be in the midst of this healing process. Now, healing is an infinite exercise. There's always going to be more layers, okay? But it feels like what you guys have started this year, you guys are still going to be in the middle of that particular module next year. And let's see where you guys are going to be in terms of each other and the relationship by next year. So this is you guys personally. We have add some, and this is about building community, right? Being able to rely on each other. So it feels like some sort of union energy or coming together, even if it's as friends. And on your person side, we have the King of Wands in reverse. Okay, so you are there and it looks like you are union ready, but your person, they're still going to be a bit disempowered. That's what I get here. A bit disempowered. So this doesn't feel like a union energy next year. Based on what we're seeing, what's going to be the highest outcome for this connection? Or you know what? Let me ask Spirit. Let me ask Spirit. Because you guys seem to be on parallel tracks until this divergence here. Okay, let's see. Three of Swords, somebody's still in pain. All right, so you're going to be relationship ready, union ready by next year. Let me just get a card on that. We have the Two of Wands in reverse. Yeah, you're standing in your power. You have come here. Two of Wands in reverse for me goes to the Ace of Wands. And the Ace of Wands is where you're meant to be. It's right here. Okay? So you are relationship ready. And you learn the lesson and the whole point of this contract. But your person is still disempowered. Let's ask Spirit why. We have the Magician. There's still a lesson in self-mastery for your person left. We have the Queen of Cups. Spirit saying they may not be union ready at the same time that you are, but they're soon. It's like you are the leader and they're in lockstep behind you. So it's going to be just soon after they're going to be union ready, because we see them here getting into that self-mastery energy and then ready for love, because this is the Queen of Cups. Okay, so it feels like they're just kind of slightly behind you in terms of this lesson. Let's see how far behind. Let Spirit give us a timeline here. How far behind are they in terms of physical union energy? How far behind are they? Oh my gosh. And we have World Moon, and it says March. All right, so let's see. We have October, because I'm doing this in September of 2005. So we have October, November, December, January, February, March. All right, so they are 7 months behind you. Okay, they're 7 months behind you. Now, based on what we're seeing here, what's going to be the highest outcome of this connection in this lifetime? Highest outcome for this connection, we have the Akashic Library. You guys accomplish what you guys are meant to do. You guys do it. You did. So you guys learn the lessons that you guys came here to learn. What is this? We have the Devil in reverse, card number 15 in reverse, right? You guys are meant to address your addictions. And then we have here commitment. All right. So the highest outcome for this connection is a physical union. Once you guys deal with all your shit, all the shadow work, the highest outcome is physical union. So you guys are on the right track. Okay. All right. So in the extended, we're going to basically use the same template for the third party energy. But if you're not able to join me in the extended, let's get some advice from Spirit for you. Spirit, what's the advice for viewer? And we have ancestors. So we got that ancestor energy early on and they come back here with it. So you guys are really being taken care of and protected at this time. And a lot of hands-on guidance. Is this 2? It is 2. And we get the medicine wheel continuation. And we also have the future. So they want to give you a message about the future. So you guys that have chosen this pile, there is some sort of ancestral inheritance. And it feels, well, and certainly it could be physical inheritance. But no, this is a spiritual inheritance that your ancestors are asking you now to access. And it feels like for most of you guys, this is some sort of healing energy, healing talent. I don't know if it's related to herbology. I don't know if it's related to spiritual clearings. I don't know if it's related to drum medicine, but it's some sort of traditional medicine like that. It's some sort of traditional medicine, and you are meant to carry on this mantle. They're saying now it's time. They're saying it's time. So it feels like there's some spiritual path to walk that you're meant to walk that's been left to you by your ancestors. They used to do the same work. Okay? They used to do the same work. And it feels like some sort of traditional knowledge, right? They're saying it's time. They're passing on the mantle to you. Okay? All right, my love. So that was your reading. I hope that was helpful. Take care. Bye. Hey guys, if you chose Pal 2, the Tarot Illuminati, this is going to be a reading. So as I said, today we are looking at the foundation of the contract between you and your person. And by the foundation of the contract, we're looking at the most important aspect of the contract that's most important to you right now. Okay, it's what spirit thinks that you need to hear, right? And then after that, we're going to look at where you guys are at in terms of this contract, where you guys are going to be a year from now, and then the highest outcome for this connection. In the extended, we do the same thing, to the third party. And then we also ask what's going to be your person's next action towards you within a month of you watching this reading. Okay, so let's get into this. Now, we have loving elementals in reverse. This is the Three of Cups in reverse. And the Three of Cups in reverse can talk about being unhappy, but it can also talk about, being unhappy. It can talk about releasing third-party situations or disconnecting or breaking the chains between third-party situations, three or more, to be honest. And then it can also talk about the ways that we numb out, okay, through auditions, any way that we escape. So through numbing out, through, partying too much, whatever you do to escape from your reality because you're unhappy, that's what Three of Cups in reverse is all about. Okay? All right. So let's see. What's the foundation of the contract between you guys? What's meant to happen? We have Archangel Raphael in reverse. Now, this is a card about heart healing. It's a card about universal love, self-love. Okay, so what this tells me is that in this lifetime, you guys come into this world disempowered, right? And perhaps you may have had many lifetimes where you were in codependent relationships and in codependent situations. And then in the beginning of this lifetime, what you'll find yourself doing is repeating all of the same cycle. So this reading is going to resonate if you've basically had shitty relationships in the past, and not just shitty romantic relationships, but perhaps shitty relationships with your parents, and maybe even codependent relationships with your co-workers or friends, because it all comes from a lack of self-love and a wounded heart that has never been healed, right? So that's what both of you guys are meant to experience. We have here fated meeting in reverse. So as I said, a lot of karmic romantic relationships. Okay, love gone wrong, love gone awry, not love situations. Okay, maybe even abusive situations as well, right? So just an overall shitty experience in love. But when our heart is broken and our heart is not mended, what we attract to ourselves is more people to break it, whatever little pieces are left, right? Because whatever we send out there is what we will receive, right? So it feels like this will go on and on until we take that pause and really start responding to the healing triggers that the universe is giving us. We have Caught in the Ruins. Now, this Caught in the Ruins card is about finding it difficult to walk away from situations that no longer benefit us. Okay, so we're there, we have a job. It's a shitty job. There's no upward mobility. They're exploitative, they're abusive, and we still say that because we basically think that we can't do better or we're comfortable. Same thing. Abusive relationship, partner that might be cheating on us, partner that might be verbally or physically abusing us, and we're still holding on, still trying to prove our loyalty, but we're not proving our loyalty. It's just that we are afraid of moving on. We're afraid perhaps of being alone. We have some abandonment issue, whatever it is. But Caught in the Ruins means it's all fallen down already. Whatever it is, it has already expired. It's obsolete. And we're still just clutching to the pieces because we are in poverty consciousness. And again, it all stems from that broken heart. What else is meant to happen? And then we have, it says birth in reverse and Four of Wands in reverse. So Spirit saying, the people that chose this pile, your childhood in particular, may have had a lot of upheaval, or may have had, what do you call that? Adverse childhood experiences. Is that what they call it? I stand to be corrected, but I think that's what it is. Like, that test that they do. Yes, adverse child experiences. So the persons choosing this pile, you may have had quite a number of those, and may even satisfy the test for some sort of PTSD or even CPTSD, right? So there might even be a clinical diagnosis here, right? But it's just been, there's a card in this deck called the Constellation of Shattered Dreams, where it's just heartbreak after heartbreak after heartbreak. And Spirit wants you to know it's, yes, what you're saying now, they're attracting to yourself, but it also may be connected to karmic debts, and for some of you guys, the karmic debts of your ancestors. I'm going to pull some cards on this because I feel like you guys need to get clarity. If you're going through so many shitty experiences, you deserve to know why. Let's start with this heartbreak here, because this is the root cause. What is this all about? We have the Fool in reverse, and the Fool in reverse is a person who's had a shitty childhood. It's about arrested development, right? Some sort of intervening circumstance, a negative intervening circumstance. Page of Swords in reverse, a child that was not allowed to express themselves, seen and not heard. Okay, Death card in reverse, some sort of prolonged trauma that just went on and on and on and on, maybe even made you feel hopeless. And then we have here drama. So trauma and drama, it feels like was the hallmark of your childhood, and then continued into your adult life with your romantic partners, right? Where you are mistaking trauma and drama for passion, because it's a vibration of your childhood. So the more trauma and drama in your relationships is the more passionate you thought that it was, because that's what you grew up in. And then we have Caught in the Ruins. Okay, but you know what? Spirit is saying that you didn't let this hold you back or define who you were. It looks like, for at least for the feminine energy, they were able to, or I think you're meant to transmute this and emerge as the Empress. And the masculine energy is also, because we did see that King of Wands is also meant to transmute this and stand in his power. So the balance of masculine and feminine energies arising out of the work that it takes to unpack everything that was done. Okay, everything that was done in this crazy ass childhood. And we had the Empress and we have the Emperor. So out, just like the lotus, out of the muck of your childhood, out of the trauma, the pain, right? And then the continuation into adulthood, both of you guys are meant to rise and stand in your power and take charge of your life. And not just take charge of your life, but this Emperor and Empress energy, it feels like you guys are going to be made into some sort of public example of what people can achieve when they take their healing journey seriously. So you guys are meant to be elevated in front of your family, in front of your peers, and model to them a different way of being. Sounds good. Sounds good. Okay. Let me just put these more interview for some reason. You weren't seeing everything. Let me just kind of put them more up here. Okay. That should be okay. Right. I got space too. Okay, good. Now, let's see what lesson. So that's what's meant to happen. Rising out of the muck, you're meant to be the lotus. And then you're meant to be the shining example for other people. What lessons and blessings are you guys currently experiencing? What lessons and blessings are you guys currently experiencing? Okay, so it looks like the majority of the lessons that you guys are learning right now, they're going to be learned in your love life, in your romantic relationships. Okay, let's see. Now, the person that resonates with the more feminine energy and will be on this side, person resonating with the more masculine energy, or your person will be on this side. And if you resonate with being, holding both energies in equal parts, you watch the whole thing, because all of this is really meant for your healing. Okay, it's not just to spy and see what your person is on, because we're not allowed to spy in tarot, but we're allowed to get messages for our highest good. What's happening here? This came out in pile one, but actually for the masculine energy. So you are transmuting this energy of unrequited love, which is part of the plan, right? So you are right on target by focusing on this right now. So right now, you are learning, first and foremost, how to love yourself. Because when you learn how to love yourself completely and you nurture yourself, you give yourself all that love you're pumping into other people, you are going to be putting that vibration out there. And once you put that vibration of I love myself out there, then you're going to attract persons into your energy field who are going to come and show you yourself, right? Who will come and model back to you that same love. So this is what you're working on right now. So you may even be challenged by the universe. By the universe may bring different people into your life. Different people into your life. Okay? And you're being challenged by the universe right now to love yourself in so many different ways. So whether it's standing up for yourself at work, standing up for yourself in front of your family members, standing up for yourself for people that want to date you, whatever it is, showing them how to treat you, you are being challenged by the universe to treat yourself with love and respect. What's your person learning right now? What are they learning? They're learning about food and hunger. Now, this card here is about scarcity consciousness. I remember we talked about, right, holding on to things, relationships, and maybe even habits, because we believe that we may not have other opportunities out there. So what your person is learning is that the world is an abundant place, full of opportunities for financial abundance, for happiness, full of opportunities for love, right? So they may even be presented with options in love, okay? But they are transmuting the way that poverty consciousness can show up in our everyday life. Sometimes poverty consciousness can show up as hoarding, and sometimes people go on the other end of the extreme where they may spend and collect things, right? So the the joy comes not from just having the things, which is holding, but also spending the money. Okay. um Poverty consciousness can also show up as workaholism in our lives. Okay, we're that kind of hustle culture. Okay, so these are the things that they are working through right now. They may have, because it actually says food and hunger, they may have an unhealthy relationship with food. And it may come from a past life where they may have been in a region where they may have been like drought or famine, or maybe they may have been in the care of someone and they were starved, or maybe this could even be repeated in this lifetime, as being neglected as a child, because we see here some as I said, adverse childhood experiences here. Okay, so there could be that. So they have an unhealthy relationship with food, whether they eat too little or have some uh, conditions related to food, or they might overindulge, they might be overweight, whatever it is. This is what they're dealing with right now. And let's see what else. I'll get a card from here as well. What else are they experiencing? We have the undoer, right? Remember we talked about you guys undoing everything that was done, not just to yourself, but also in your ancestry. So dismantling brick by brick everything that you were taught that does not resonate with who you are. False narratives. Whoa, whoa. What are you experiencing? You're experiencing making a sanctuary within yourself. So instead of looking outside of yourself for protection, for safety, for security, for love, you are creating that safe space inside of yourself. So you're not out there actively looking for it and looking for it in the wrong places. You're recognizing it's all inside of you and embracing that. And this is infused in your energy field, and this is what you have put in your hands out right now to receive. Let's see what your person's doing. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Doing too much. I think this came out in PAL. This came out in PAL 1. Okay. What's your person doing? Well, they are taking their ascension journey seriously. And they're doing that with the support of their ancestors. So again, we have confirmation that, this hustle culture that they're dealing with right now, it's something that's imbued in their ancestral line. So they are the one that was nominated or may have volunteered to transmute this, and they're doing it, right? With the help of spirit, they're moving forward. They're here in this death energy, right? And death is, it's transmutation, it's transformation, okay? And they're taking some sort of leap of faith and doing things differently than how their ancestry may have done it. So they are being a pioneer, right? They're having, I don't really want to say balls, maybe they don't have balls. They're having a chutzpah to do things differently and maybe even go against what is the established and acceptable way of navigating the world. We have miracles. And because they are on path, they may be experiencing a lot of divine intervention in their life, and maybe they're able to witness that divine intervention. So they're getting a lot of help from the universe, and the universe, divine, is transforming their family tree, right? Because look, we see the new shoots sprouting here. So all this work that your person is doing, they may already be seeing the fruit of their labor, because even as they change, their family members are also changing. Beautiful. Okay. Now, where are you guys going to be in terms of a healing and this relationship within a year from now? So in terms of a healing, you viewer, you're going to be here. You're going to be in the karmic trench, okay? So still doing a lot of work around this self-love. And this is the Four of Swords, right? So you're healing. And you're seeing fruit. You're seeing the fruit of your labor, right? Planting new seeds, right? Maybe you are, dissolving all those false narratives that you told yourself, whether, you're unlovable, or you're ugly, or whatever it is. Nobody can ever love you, la, 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 la. You are digging up all those old narratives and you're planting new seeds that you are a divine being. You come from love. You're love itself, right? And you deserve everything wonderful that this world has to share. So you are going to be building yourself from the ground up. You're going to continue the work that you already started. In terms of this relationship, we're going to have the Two of Cups in reverse, and it says the Winged Messenger. I don't think you're going to be giving much energy to this relationship. You're going to be pouring all this energy and effort into yourself. And it could also be that it could be a fresh start for this connection, because the Winged Messenger in reverse means the old incarnation of the relationship has been completely destroyed, and it's a call to rebuild, right? So there could be that. I'll pull a card and clarify what it means. All right, your person, where they're going to be at in terms of their own development, in terms of their own development, where they're going to be at. Six of Swords. So both of you guys are exactly in the same place. Four of Swords, a card of healing. Six of Swords, a card of healing. Okay? So it feels like, they're going to be ready to move on from something. Okay? So something old has ended, and they're moving on and moving into something new. For some of them, they might be publishing a book next year, right? They think it's time to publish this book. And for others, they may be starting a new business, or they might be handing in their resignation letter to their place of work. But either way, big change from a person moving on from what they know and their comfort zone. And in terms of their attitude towards this relationship or where they stand, we have the Buddha preparing for the reunion, preparing for the transformation, the renewal of this connection. So I feel like you guys are in alignment here. Let me just pull a card on what that Winged Messenger in reverse means. We have the High Priestess in reverse. And the High Priestess, she can be kind of secretive and mysterious. And then we have the Queen of... You're not putting energy. They are preparing for reunion, but you're saying bye-bye. You are saying bye-bye. So the minute they're like, you know what, I think I'm ready for this love, you're like, bye-bye. Oh my. All right, so based on what we're seeing here, what's going to be that? Yeah, because you're going to be, you're focused on self. You're focused on being the best version of yourself. So based on what we're seeing here, what can we expect will be the highest outcome for this connection in this lifetime? We have the Ace of Pentacles in reverse, the Architect in reverse, and the Scribe in reverse. Okay. So it feels like you guys are not aligned to union energies. Your person is, but you're not. I don't know if you got fed up waiting for them or whatever it is, but as it stands, your vibration is not in alignment with union with them. It's not. Your vibration is more in alignment with I'm done. That's it. So what we're going to do in the extended, we're going to ask Spirit, I'll make a note. We're going to ask Spirit, what can you do to be in alignment with physical union, if that is what you want, okay? And then we also do the other things that we said we were going to do. All right, so I'll get some information for you. All right, so either way, you're on track with your healing. That's the most important part. Doing a lot of work. Let's see what's the advice from Spirit. Maybe we'll get the answer here. What's your advice in this situation? And we have shapeshifter perspective. So Spirit is asking you to see some sort of higher perspective. Because even here, higher perspective is in reverse. That's the hangman in reverse. So there's something that you're not seeing, it looks like. Let's see. Let's see. Maybe we'll get the answer here. What will we have here? We have the truth. And it says plant medicine. So for some of you guys, maybe you're being called to be vegan, or you may be called to be doing some maybe some sort of micro dosing, ayahuasca, and please, make sure it's supervised. And when you're doing this, or maybe even ganja, marijuana, there's some sort of call to nature that's happening right now. And then we also have altar, and this is almost like honoring the ancestors. All right, so what Spirit is saying right now? Spirit is saying you're ungrounded, and maybe that is the answer. You're ungrounded right now. They let you know as well that there are ancestors and spirit guides that are standing by to help you at this time. But you're not going to be able to connect with them until you reconnect with nature. So it feels like you're ungrounded somehow. So for people in this pile, some sort of earthing exercise is going to be very helpful to you. I think you need to get out there, walk barefoot once it's safe. Get back to your grounding and protection routines, because Spirit is saying you're ungrounded. Okay, let me look at this altar card. Isn't that the coconut guy? Oh, it's a gas guy. All right, let's see what this honoring is all about. Well, focus on honoring that which sustains you, those who came before you, and the true beauty and purpose of your being to bring about the harmony that is eluding you. So they're saying you're out of balance. Regularly honoring at an altar is a personal and tangible way to achieve balance and maintain serenity over the next few months. Keep your altar simple. It can be a table with a cloth on it, in a quiet corner, a mantelpiece, or even a windowsill. It is your intention to honor the blessings and gifts from Spirit and Mother Nature that is most important, and your altar must reflect that journey. Adorn this place with items that are sacred to you, like flowers, tobacco, sage, or images of your ancestors. Include items that represent each of the elements. You might use crystal for earth, a red candle for fire, an incense stick for air, a blue candle for water, and a small mirror for spirit. Your altar is a thank you and a pause for reflection on the gifts from the worlds a shaman walks between. In honoring this sacred space and connection to all life-giving properties, you will be calling to yourself just what you need in times of uncertainty and confusion. And it says, honor what is sacred to you, make room for quiet time, dedicate an altar in your house or garden so that which you are aligned to spiritually, focus on bringing desired results, make time for gratitude and thanksgiving, and make time for reflection. And the altar speaks and says, precious gifts and sacred items lay bare, holding a space to bless all that is there. Ancestors, elementals, directions, and more. Come speak with them and be reassured. So Just as I said, there's a lot of divine energy that is surrounding you right now and trying to guide you as to what you need to do. But Spirit saying you have to quiet the mind. It feels like your mind has hijacked you, and that's why you're not in alignment. You have to be more like this, your person, where they're making this time for meditation and to connect with others who are there to help. Okay, they're saying you're out of balance. Your mind is hijacking you. Okay. All right, my love. So that was your reading. I hope that was helpful. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. For some of you, there might be a female ancestor that might be coming through, because even now my mother is calling me, right? Okay, but they're there and they're trying to guide you. So make time for stillness and meditation. All right, so if you can join me in extended, you can. Otherwise, just thank you for subscribing to my channel. Thank you for being here. Thank you for the many ways that you support me, buying the extended links, subscribing to my other channel, Made for Love. It all helps this channel, grow, and our community grow. Take care. Bye. Hey, Pile 3, if you chose the Wheel of the Year Tarot and the Blue Crystal, this is going to be your reading. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to look at the nature of the contract between you guys. And it's not going to be the whole contract. It's what Spirit needs to bring to your attention at this time. Okay? So the nature of the contract between them. What does Spirit want to share about this contract that they think that you need to know right now? So we have on track, Ace of Swords. So whatever is happening in this connection, Spirit saying you guys are on the right track. You guys are doing the right thing. And the Ace of Swords about truth, authenticity, seeing things as they are without those rose-colored glasses, or through the eyes of the cynic, right? You're just seeing things objectively. All right, let's see the nature of the contract between you guys. Now, this Akashic Tarot is not like other tarot decks. Other tarot decks have 78 cards. This has 62 cards. So I can't read it as I would usually read the traditional tarot. I have to read it intuitively, okay? All right, we have the Four of Pentacles in reverse, and it says clearing the way in reverse. And the Four of Pentacles in reverse talks about releasing the things that no longer serve us. Let's see what's going on here. We have the Eight of Swords, parts unknown. So I feel like, listen, the Eight of Swords talks about our programming. It talks about false narratives. It talks about, ideologies, societal mores or nores, things that can really get you stuck in life and stuck in your head. Okay? And it feels like in this lifetime, you guys are meant to release that. Okay? Everything that is holding you back from being your most authentic version of yourself, it looks like this is all meant to fall away in this lifetime. This is the work that you guys are doing together. So maybe in past lifetimes, or maybe even in the past, in this lifetime, you may have had opportunities, and that's opportunities for work, opportunities for love, opportunities to, be an advocate for the planet, for other people, those kinds of things. And maybe you kind of got stuck in your head. Maybe it was about, what would people think? Can I really make money from this? Going on and on and on, right? This person doesn't look right for me, or people have to say about this person. So opportunities for love, advancement, relationships. You may have been stuck in your head because you're thinking or more focused on what society or family or whoever else may say. Okay. You and your person. We have the 10, the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. So what that tells us is this: it's lifetimes of this cycle. It's lifetimes of walking away from your destiny, so that you can fit in with somebody's idea of success, fit in with somebody's idea of happy. Okay. So maybe in past lifetimes, or even in the past, you may have stayed in a dysfunctional relationship, or in a relationship where you just weren't in it anymore, right? You guys grew out of love or whatever, but you guys stayed together, maybe because what you thought was the right thing to do. That's what you were led to believe, or there was kids involved, whatever it is, right? But in this lifetime, Spirit is saying all this is meant to fall away, and you're meant to live your most authentic life. And once you live in your most authentic life, it's going to align with your destiny, your purpose. But it feels like in other lifetimes, you may have gone off course, off path, because you're more concerned with the outside world. What else? What's the nature of the contract? And you see, we do that because, just as they say here, because we are insecure. We're insecure. We want approval. We want approval. Approval means more to us than living our most authentic life. And Spirit saying in this lifetime, all this is meant to change. All this is meant to be transmuted and fall away. Right? You're meant to put yourself out there. Get this person on the front line. You're meant to put yourself out there, no matter what people may think. People may think you're quirky, kooky, just plain weird. It doesn't matter. Some of you guys may come from, very conservative families, traditional values, maybe established religion, whatever it is, and you're meant to break away. Because that's what your heart is telling you to do. I have an aunt. And my aunt was evangelical Christian. And she fell in love, and he fell in love with her. She fell in love with a Seventh-day Adventist. And they didn't care about it. But my aunt's brothers, not my dad, some of the younger ones who were also evangelical Christian. My father wasn't Christian. Other brothers pressured her so much about it. When I tell you so much about it. And she was in her 20s at the time they were in love. And, looking back on it, they were so compatible when you saw them together. Their aspirations for the world, because they wanted to start a kind of vegan food business. She had done her studies in agro-processing. He was already a farmer and that kind of thing. So they had this big vision. And they pressured her so much and talked so much about them being unequally yoked and whatever, that she finally broke off the arrangement. My aunt is now 64, thereabouts. Yeah, just about 64. And she's never had anybody else. She's never had anybody else. He got married, he had children, and I think eventually he divorced, and he never had anybody else. And, strange to say, when he was married, they used to meet up. No, I don't know if they used to have sex or whatever. I don't know. I really don't know. Right? Maybe they did. I don't know. But, big objection. You do these things, to please your family members, please society, please your church, or whatever it is. And at the end of the day, all our brothers are married to whoever they want to get married to. All our brothers have children or whatever. And her dreams of, because she did have dreams, she had dreams of being married and having a child, all her dreams by the wayside. So, it's what happens when you don't stand up for yourself, when you don't have appropriate boundaries, and when you're more concerned about what other people have to say about you. And I have a lot of compassion for her because she was very young. But at the same time, when I think about myself at that age, nobody could tell me anything regarding that kind of thing. So, each generation becomes more empowered than the other. But, it's just a very sad story. I don't even know. I think they're still in contact, but they're not together. Anyways, so it's those kind of things that happen when people put religion and ideology and all that in front of that basic energy, that fundamental energy, which is love. All right, so let's see, where are you guys at in terms of this contract at this time? Where are you guys at? Because I met my first love when I was in my early 20s. And my mother tried telling me that he wasn't good for me, and he wasn't. But I wasn't going to be convinced of it until I saw it myself, right? All right, we have here Galactic. Okay, so what's happening? You guys are getting some support from Star Family right now, because not only do you have your own shit to transmute in this lifetime, it feels like you came down here for a dual purpose. So for some of you guys, you have a big role in terms of supporting the evolution of the planet, whilst also working out your own personal stuff. Okay, all right, let's see. Viewer, where are you in terms of this contract? And that's exactly why I spoke about that religion thing, spirituality and religion. So maybe some of you guys are making that transition either from, spirituality to religion, or religion to spirituality. Either way, maybe you're getting a more expansive view of the world. Okay, a worldview that is different to yours. With the spirituality and religion card as well, it talks about the deconstruction of both of these ideologies, because in certain segments of the whole spirituality world, it can become pretty dogmatic too, or maybe just as dogmatic as religion, where spirituality is supposed to offer more freedom. People want to impose all kind of different rules and all kind of stuff. So I think for this pile, I think you're meant, or you are coming to realization that both of them can be restrictive if we allow them to override our own authentic self and our own authentic understandings of the world, because we are all meant to come to our own truth about this world, right? What we know about spirituality right now is someone's version of the truth. What we know about religion is someone's version of the truth. So somewhere there, you are meant to get your own version of the truth, because the fact of the matter is there is no knowing. It is what we believe, is what we may divine, right? And even with those things that we divine, comes through our ego, comes through our consciousness, right? So there is no knowing in this world. It's only believing. So I think right now, maybe you're trying to figure out, what do I believe? What do I believe? What resonates with me? That's the best you can do. What resonates with me? Everything else, whatever we understand, the basic tenets of what we understand about religion or spirituality, it's somebody else's download. And their download, your download, is just as valid as their own. Okay? Your understanding of life, the world, spirit, the spiritual realm is just as valid as their own. Same crown chakra, What's your person learning right now? What's your person learning? We have food and hunger. I think this came off a pile too. Okay, so your person is deconstructing poverty consciousness and the different ways that this may show up in the world. No, but for some reason, for this pile, the word that I heard was greed. And not greed in terms of gluttony, or certainly it could be that, but I got terms of greed in terms of one's fascination or obsession, rather. Obsession, that's the word. One's obsession with the material world and just like collecting things. Collecting things. And this always comes from a space of lack, whether this lack came from your childhood, whether it's some kind of a lack that's been passed on through the ancestral line. It's all about collecting things and sometimes even collecting people, because it seems like there's never enough love to go around. They always have to have a backup plan for the backup plan for the backup plan, a safety net for the safety net for the safety net, in everything. In love, in their home, they might have several appliances that are the same, whatever it is, and they talk about a backup plan, but no, it's not. It's hoarding. It's collecting. Because we're always fearful of loss. We're always fearful of loss. What else are you guys experiencing? So both of you guys are deconstructing ideologies that you may have received or was passed on to you from your ancestral line. And that's exactly what you guys are meant to do. Because maybe this fascination that they have with the material world, that's a whole family thing that's going on. What are you guys experiencing at this time? We have here self-value. Exactly. Right? Love for self. Recognizing your worth. And maybe for you, how this is connected to spirituality and religion. There's certainly certain religious and sometimes spiritual dogmas that may put certain classes of people, whether it's by gender, whether it's by their level of knowing, over others. So kind of spiritual elitism, right? So the same tenets same structures that exist in our society, some people want to impose it on the spiritual world too, right? But you have to recognize, and I think this is what you're recognizing now, that you have value. And as I said, your downloads are just as valid as everyone else. So maybe you've been experiencing a lot of self-doubt. Maybe you've been taught to doubt yourself. Maybe you've been taught not to lean on your own understanding. But all this is being deconstructed by you at this time. Where are you currently in the contract? You're rebelling. You're rebelling against everything that you were taught that does not resonate with who you are. If it doesn't fit, you're going to quit. You're not going to believe in something just because. It has to resonate with you. You have to feel it. You're not going to just take in everything that a tarot reader says because a tarot reader says it. Right? It has to confirm what you are already feeling in your own psyche. Because you are the expert on you. Nobody else. So whatever you've been taught and it doesn't resonate with you, you're throwing that away. You're throwing that away. What's your person doing? Yeah, well, they are also empowering themselves. So this rebellion for you is power, right? This is you taking back your power. But it feels like this is them discovering their power. And this power is allowing them to move forward from whatever they've been taught by their family. I get with your person. This is an ancestral thing. This greed, this obsession with the material world, this is an obsession because they equate the material world and whatever is to be collected there with power. But your person is discovering what true power is. And true power comes from the ethers. That's what your person is learning at this time. So both of you guys seem to be doing exactly what you came here to do. Releasing everything that's been holding you back, especially dogma, false narratives, and just kind of getting out of your head. Where will you guys be in your personal development a year from now? We have here the Ace of Wands in reverse. So you're still going through this lesson about taking back your power. So that lesson is still in play. And in terms of this relationship, where will you guys be? We have the Five of Pentacles in reverse, feeling abandoned. Feeling abandoned. What about your person? Let's see what's going on. Where will your person be in terms of their own healing? I'll clarify this for you. We have the Two of Cups in reverse. They might be going through some sort of breakup or some sort of drama. They could even be walking away from the bargaining table, maybe at a job, or maybe if there's been some sort of legal issue, that legal issue may come to an end. And where will they be in terms of this contract? We have the King of Cups in reverse, heartbroken. What is going on, guys? Guys, I'm going to have to clarify for you. What is this? You guys were doing so well. What happened? Let's see what's going on. Maybe Spirit can give us some insight. Because that's a whole lot of blocked energy. Especially after you guys were doing so well. We have here the Knight of Swords. And this is truth. Okay, why are you still going through this empowerment message? We have the Nine of Cups in reverse. So there's some lessons in a lack of self-love or codependency that you're still going to be learning. Some of you guys might be dealing with an addiction at this time. Okay. Maybe you've been giving your power away to a substance or some sort of habit. Okay, so you guys will still be dealing with that. And you're going to be feeling abandoned by this connection. Why? We have 10 of Pentacles reverse. It feels like your person's going to go through some sort of breakup. And they're going to be focused on that. And 10 of Cups in reverse. That's what it feels like. It feels like your person goes through some sort of, some sort of breakup, right? And they're going to be focusing all their energy on dealing with this. It's a raging bull here. Dealing with this, that you're going to feel unsupported because all their energy is going to be on sorting out whatever this breakup is. So they may change jobs or something like that, or maybe it's a romantic relationship that dissolves. Maybe it's a divorce, whatever it is. Your person's going to be focusing on that and you're going to feel abandoned. Let's see your person. They're in some kind of contentious drama, right? We have the Seven of Wands in reverse. They give up on something and start new love. Yeah, it feels like they go through some sort of breakup, give up on some sort of relationship that they had. Might have even been a marriage. And they start afresh. They're going to be heartbroken though. In terms of this connection, We have the 10 of Wands. Yeah, they're still going to have a lot of stuff on their plate. And you see, that's why you're going to be, yeah, Magician in reverse. I think they're going to be in recovery. If you guys start something, you guys are going to be the rebound girl, rebound boy, rebound they, because this person is still going to be in recovery. They would have just broken up with someone a year from now. Okay, based on what we're seeing here, what we can expect will be the highest outcome of this connection in this lifetime. We have the 6 of Wands and it says waterfall. So that's victory. We have waterfall. And we have the initiation of Saint Germain. We have temperance, karmic lessons learned, karmic debts paid, and you guys stepping into purpose. So listen, by next year, it looks like things might be rough. But at the end, you guys get it together. You guys get together and you guys get it together. So don't let next year and this year discourage you, right? You guys get it together in the end, okay? All right, let me get some advice for you guys. In the extended, we're going to do the same for the karmic or third-party relationship. If there's one attached to your connection, but if you're not able to join me in extended, can I ask you to subscribe to the channel? Put a comment down below. It could be a full stop. You can like or dislike the video. It all helps as well. And if you're able to interact with any ads I play during this video, that will be a beautiful favor that you can do for me. All right, what do we have here? We have the present. Power in the present. Now let's see. All right, so Spirit saying stop living in the past. Past hurt and pain. Let's see. What does Spirit want us to know? We have Lodge. And it says counsel. But it feels like a counsel of light. See that coming down from the ethers? Let's see what they say about counsel. And you know, your counsel of light, they come when you're meant to step into your purpose. So let's see what we have here. Counsel. Lodge. There are times to go it alone, and there are times when the experience and help of others should be sought before taking the next step. Lodge is calling you to do just that. Seek counsel, seek guidance. You may struggle to decide who to speak with. Don't worry that one person or the other would offer better advice. Ask as many people as you wish. Different perspectives can help you see something that hasn't occurred to you before. Ask a family member, a friend, a neighbor, or a person of authority like a police officer, solicitor, or accountant. Your genuine desire for their opinion on a matter will be met with equally genuine response. So it feels like, you see where you feel abandoned next year? Spirit is saying you may feel abandoned by this person, but you're not abandoned by Spirit and not abandoned by all those who are around you. If you are thinking of embarking on a spiritual course, inquire with as many of the teachers as you need to. Again, be honest in your communication, and you will soon discover the right person for you. Asking for help and speaking out about concerns is an act of strength, not weakness. If you are met with ridicule or resistance, you will know those people need not be approached again. And different meanings for this card are good news is on the way. Someone is holding back from you. Release your fears of being judged by others. Your silence does not defend you. Be brave and speak your truth. Don't worry about the reactions of others. Integrity is key. Only accept what feels right for you, which is exactly what we were talking about. And then Lodge speaks and says, please enter me as you must. In the world of elders you now trust. Hear them speak of what they know. Learn well from them before you go. So Spirit saying, you're not alone. There are people both incarnated and disincarnated who are waiting to support you and guide you. All you need to do is ask for help. Okay? My love, so that was your reading. I hope that was helpful.